On our anniversary, my husband divorced me just to marry his first love, he said, Catherine. Caroline has cancer and doesn't have much time left. Her biggest wish is to marry me, and I won't let her leave with regrets. Once she's gone, I'll make it up to you. But he didn't know I was already terminally ill. On the day he divorced me, my condition suddenly worsened and I died on the operating table. Before I died, I called him, but in the background, I heard my husband's impatient voice. Catherine, can you stop being so jealous? Caroline is sick and so are you. Why do you always have to copy her? I'm not coming back no matter what. If you want to die, just go ahead. But Caroline kept saying she didn't have long to live, yet several years had passed and she still looked healthy. Meanwhile, I was the one truly dying from illness, my life force fading day by day. I sent him one last message wishing you a long life together and many children. Welcome to love story. After more than 2 hours of failed rescue, I still left this world. I felt my body lightening up and my soul left my body, hovering in the air looking down at my own corpse, and the sorrowful medical staff. 4 hours ago, I was still breathing. I was full of anticipation, wondering how Damon and I would spend our last anniversary. I had prepared the gift he wanted most, and even put on a dress I had always been reluctant to wear. With my makeup done, I was ready for this last occasion. But Damon told me, Caroline's cancer is in the final stage. I can't just leave her. Her biggest wish is to marry me, and I can't let her die with regrets. I stared at him in shock. But you're already married. That's why we need to divorce. Once Caroline passes, we'll remarry. Catherine, be kind. You can't refuse a dying person's last wish, can you? Afraid I might object, Damon added. Don't worry, I'll treat you well in the future and make it up to you. No, this is outrageous. I won't agree. He only cared about Caroline's condition, never mine. Whenever Caroline had any issues, he would drop everything to be by her side. He never noticed that my body was also deteriorating. Whenever I faint, or fell dizzy, or vomit blood, Damon would mock me. You look ridiculous. Can you stop pretending? You're really disgusting, even faking being sick. Even though he treated me cruelly, I still hoped he would change his mind. After all, he was the one who almost lost his life to save mine. In that car accident, he protected me, with his body whispering in my ear, as long as you're alive, nothing else matters. Those words gave me an immense sense of comfort. But then Caroline came back. She was his first love. When Damon found out she had cancer, he became a completely different person, staying by her side without ever leaving. There was no room for me in his life anymore. But I kept waiting for him. I hoped to spend the last days of my life with him. Instead, all I got was his request for a divorce. Damon, with a hint of blame in his voice, said, Catherine, stop making a fuss. She's dying and you're still nitpicking. This divorce will happen whether you agree or not. My heart went completely cold. The man I loved for so many years, when I was about to die, chose to divorce me, just to marry another woman. The man who once promised to take care of me for life, to love me forever, was the first to let go. He ran into another woman's arms. Fine, I agree to the divorce. As I walked out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, I saw Caroline waiting at the entrance. The moment she saw Damon, she gleefully threw herself into his arms, then gave me a provocative look. Catherine, you won't blame me for taking your husband, will you? But I'm dying, so I won't have Damon for long. Once I'm gone, you two can still be a loving couple, and I'll be. As she spoke, Caroline suddenly burst into tears. Damon hurriedly wiped away her tears, casting a guilty glance in my direction. She won't. Catherine is a kind woman. She won't blame you. Caroline's rosy face was full of happiness. Then let's go. Let's get married. She looked at me intentionally and added, Sister Catherine, you'll attend our wedding, right? We've been preparing for a long time just for today. So their wedding had already been planned in advance. Even before our marriage ended, he was busy preparing for his wedding with another woman. When it was time to divorce, he didn't even give me a heads up, leaving me no room to negotiate. At that moment, I felt an overwhelming sense of irony. This was the man I had loved for 10 years. Even his divorce announcement was so self-righteous. My heart felt stifled, a mix of anger and pain, and the world around me began to blur. Before I collapsed, the last thing I saw was Caroline walking away, with Damon, her arm hooked through his. Panicked bystanders rushed me to the hospital. The doctors worked for more than an hour to pull me back. "Your condition is very serious. You need surgery as soon as possible. We need to notify your family to sign the consent forms. Could you provide their contact information?" Weakly I replied, "I don't have any family. I'll sign it myself." After signing the papers, the doctors began preparing for my surgery. I picked up my phone and called Damon. The call rang for a long time before he finally answered, and the background music was deafening. It was the wedding march. Just the thought of them getting married now made my heart ache painfully. "Damon, I'm dying. Could you come see me one last time, please?" I had no family left. Damon was the only one I had in this world. But today that was no longer true. Who would have thought that my anniversary day would be the day of our divorce, and possibly the day I'd die? Damon sneered, coldly, his voice impatient. "Today is Caroline's and my wedding. You're just saying that to trick me into coming back, aren't you? Catherine, can you stop being so jealous? Caroline is sick, you're sick too. Why do you always have to copy her? Caroline would never cause a scene like you. Can't you just be more obedient? Be kinder," I pleaded. "But Damon, I'm seriously ill. I might really be dying." "You'll say anything just to make me come back, won't you? Anyway, I'm not coming back. If you want to die, then just die." As soon as he finished speaking, I heard Caroline's voice in the background. "Damon, the wedding is about to start. What are you doing?" It seemed she had noticed it was my call. And Caroline suddenly sounded pitiful. "Is it Catherine calling? She didn't come to our wedding. Is she angry?" "Damon, I know I've wronged Catherine, but this is my only dying wish." The moment Caroline sounded upset, Damon's voice turned harsh again. "Catherine, you better come to our wedding or just die." With that, he hung up the phone. I let out a bitter laugh, wondering what I had even been hoping for. Suddenly I recalled that Caroline had been in good health all these years, even putting on a bit of weight. It had been several years since she claimed to be in the final stages of terminal illness. She didn't look terminal at all. But I, on the other hand, had grown thinner by the day. My once round face had turned gaunt. Damon hadn't noticed at all. The only time he remarked on my appearance was when he saw how much weight I had lost, and even then he half-heartedly commented, "You shouldn't overdo the dieting. It's bad for your health. I don't mind if you gain weight." He never noticed the empty pill bottles, my thinning hair, or how my face had become more and more haggard. He didn't notice I often fainted. All his care and attention were for Caroline, and his eyes were only for her. A tear of despair fell from my eye as I sent him my final message. "Wishing you a long and happy life together with many children." I closed my eyes as the machine started beeping. I heard the hurried footsteps of the medical staff and the sounds of their efforts. But this time it seemed I would never wake up again. It seemed like a long, long time had passed. Damon, exhausted from the wedding, finally sent me a reply. "Catherine, Caroline is still young. She's never been married before. I only did this to help her fulfill her wish. I can't let her leave with regrets. I know what we did was wrong, but you should be more understanding. Do you realize how much trouble you caused to Caroline by not coming today?" Many guests were whispering behind her back, calling her a homewrecker who ruined our marriage. She cried until her eyes were red. "Caroline has had a tough time. You should also try to be considerate of her. How about this? Post something on your social media to clarify the situation for Caroline, and I won't hold it against you for not attending the wedding." It had been a long time since Damon sent me such a long message, but this time it was all to ask me to clear Caroline's name. But this time I couldn't clear anything for him anymore. He waited a long time, but no response came. Damon started to get frustrated. He called several times, but that call I could no longer answer. Caroline sat beside him in her lace pajamas, looking pitifully at him. Is Catherine still angry at me? So many people were secretly cursing me today, and I'm really heartbroken. I understand if Catherine won't help me. In her eyes, I'm just the bad woman who stole you. It's fine for your sake, I can endure the insults from others. Damon pulled Caroline into his arms, comforting her. Catherine isn't the kind of person who doesn't know what's right. I'll go talk to her. Don't cry, it's bad for your health. In his arms, Caroline no longer looked pitiful at all. But Catherine looked at me like she wanted to eat me alive. She must hate me, otherwise why wouldn't she come to our wedding? Damon spoke seriously. Don't worry. I'll make sure she clears your name. I won't let you suffer, he once said. Those words to me too. He said, Catherine, I'll never let you suffer. I'll hold you in my heart for the rest of my life. But the suffering and the storms I endured all came from Damon. Even my illness, which had a high chance of being cured. It was Damon who took the money meant to save my life to fulfill Caroline's wish. It was him who let my illness fester, making it worse and worse. In other words, he is one who caused my death. Suddenly Damon took a deep breath, a strange sense of unease creeping over him. He felt a wave of panic. He stood up. I'm going back for a bit. Don't worry, I'll be back soon, Caroline anxiously said. But today is our wedding day. You, Caroline, I won't let you suffer. I'm going to find Catherine right now and make sure she clears your name. With that, Damon left, barely giving Caroline time to protest. Damon returned to what used to be our home. He opened the door and called out my name a few times, but there was no response. Before, whenever he came home, the moment he called my name, I would show up immediately. But now no one would answer him anymore. He searched around, still calling my name, but found no sign of me. Normally quick-tempered, he became irritated in an instant. Catherine, if you don't show yourself now, don't ever show up again for the rest of your life. As you wish, I will never appear before you again in this life. Just as Damon was about to leave, his phone rang. It was my phone calling. His voice couldn't hide his excitement. Catherine, where are you? Hurry up and clear things up for Caroline. Hello, this is the hospital. Are you Catherine's husband? Catherine passed away after unsuccessful rescue. Please come to claim her body. Damon was silent for a few seconds, then let out a few laughs, his eyes filled with uncontrollable anger. Catherine told you to trick me, didn't she? Hasn't she had enough of this? This is exactly what's so annoying about her, pretending to be sick when she's perfectly fine. If she wants to die so badly, then let her. But she'd better clear Caroline's name first. Otherwise, there's no chance of getting back together, sir. I don't understand what you're talking about, but this is real. We haven't been able to reach any other of Catherine's family members. If you're her husband, please come as soon as possible to claim the body. Hearing this, Damon became even more furious. Enough, this is all Catherine's doing. She made up this lie just to avoid clearing Caroline's name, and she's not even afraid it'll come true. I'm so disappointed in her. If she's so eager to die, then let her just go ahead and die. Damon angrily hung up the phone completely, ignoring the hospital's call. He angrily glanced around the living room. Catherine, I've never been more disappointed in you. I told you I only love you. Why can't you believe me? Once Caroline is gone, we can finally live peacefully. Why can't you just trust me? You've let me down so much. Listening to his accusations, it seemed like everything was my fault. I was the unreasonable one, the one causing all the problems, and that's why he had become so disappointed in me. But it's over now. I'm gone and I don't care anymore. After all, he's no longer my husband. Several days passed and my body remained unclaimed. The hospital tried to contact people from my phone, but with my parents already gone, and no close relatives, my contacts were only acquaintances. No one was willing to come and claim my body. Meanwhile, Damon was still on his honeymoon with Caroline. He said he wanted to give her an unforgettable honeymoon, so she wouldn't leave with regrets. That excuse, Damon has been using it for nearly 5 years. Every year, every month, every day has been about fulfilling Caroline's wishes. He never seemed to consider how much time had really passed since Caroline said she didn't have long to live. Damon treated every single day as if it were Caroline's last. If he weren't my husband, I would probably envy and bless this loving couple. When the hospital contacted the last person in my phone book, I stayed silent. It was an old friend of mine, but Damon had never liked her. He would often say, "That friend of yours is obviously no good. She's a total player, the type that messes around with people's feelings. I can't stand people who aren't loyal in relationships. You'd better keep your distance from her. I don't want her corrupting you." Bonnie isn't like that. She's a good person. Yes, her dating history is a bit extensive, but she's never cheated, never played anyone. She's always taken every relationship seriously. I defended Bonnie, but it only annoyed Damon. "Catherine, I'm saying this for your own good. Don't let her ruin you. What kind of decent woman dates so many men? Even if she hasn't cheated, she's still not clean. I think the most beautiful love is the kind that lasts from start to finish, not one relationship after another. Love is small. It can only hold two people." How righteous he sounded back then, and how disgusting his true face is now. To avoid putting me in a difficult position, Bonnie gradually distanced herself from me. We hadn't spoken in years. She didn't even attend my wedding. But she sent a large gift and told me to be happy. In the blink of an eye, so many years have passed. Bonnie probably won't come to help me with my body, right? But when the call went through, Bonnie was silent for a few seconds, then immediately agreed. Someone was finally coming to claim my body. When Bonnie left the hospital, she looked gloomy. Her eyes were red, but she stubbornly didn't say a word. Seeing her like this broke my heart. If only I hadn't married Damon, maybe Bonnie and I would still be friends. Even if I had been diagnosed with this illness, I would have been in a healthy state to fight it. There was a good chance I could have recovered. The money I'd saved for my treatment wouldn't have been taken by Damon to fulfill Caroline's dreams. Thinking about it now, it's truly ironic. Bonnie took my body to be cremated. And once cremated, it was just a small urn. Look at how thin you were. Even your ashes are lighter than others. As Bonnie spoke, her voice suddenly choked up. "Catherine, just how much did you suffer?" Over all these years, Bonnie was the first person to care about how much I had suffered. Damon would always say, I didn't need to suffer, but insisted on seeking it out. But I had endured all those countless days and nights on my own. Through the flare-ups of my illness, the times he abandoned me, and the moment he betrayed me. In Damon's eyes, I was always living a life of comfort. I bore the heartbreak and the pain of illness, day after day, night after night, but none of it made me cry. Yet this time I felt a lump in my throat. Could I still cry in this state? Bonnie found some old photos of me and printed them as black and white memorial portraits. She also found my diary. As she read the little details of my life, she cried uncontrollably. "Catherine, I won't let you die so miserably. Those who hurt you, I'll make them pay." I actually wanted to tell her there's no need. I don't want her to do anything for me. I only hope she lives well. Live well for both of us. On the first day Damon and Caroline returned from their honeymoon, Bonnie went to the airport, holding my memorial portrait to confront them. Her phone was live streaming, the whole thing practically, shoving it in their faces. "Everyone come and take a look at this pair of homewreckers, cheating while married, stealing life-saving money from the original wife to go on a trip. They got married. On the day their wife died, you two treated Catherine so terribly, karma will get you." There were many people at the airport, and they all stopped to watch the scene unfold. Damon's expression darkened. "Bonnie, why are you here? Did Catherine put you up to this? Where is she?" Bonnie let out a cold laugh. "Catherine, you'll see her when you're dead." Caroline, leaning weakly against Damon, said softly, "Damon, she's being so harsh. Do you think Catherine sent her?" Damon frowned, his gaze toward Bonnie, filled with irritation. "Enough, Bonnie. I've tolerated you long enough. No wonder Catherine became like this. It's all you're doing. Bring Catherine out here, and let her explain this to everyone." Bonnie gritted her teeth. Explain. Explain how you cheated. How did you, and this woman, drive her to her death? Damon, you have no conscience. Wasn't Catherine good enough to you? If you didn't love her, you should have just divorced her. Why did you have to kill her? Stop talking nonsense. Bring Catherine out, Damon continued to shout, unaware that I could never come out again. Can you deny that you took Catherine's 800,000 yuan to fund Caroline's trip? That was our money as a married couple. I had the right to use it. Besides, I told Catherine about it. You didn't ask her. You told her. By the time Catherine found out, her money was gone. That money was meant for her surgery. If she had made it to that surgery, her condition wouldn't have worsened. Do you understand? Her illness wasn't severe at first. You slowly killed her, making her lose hope in life. Bonnie became more and more agitated, nearly ready to strike him. Damon frowned even more. How long are you going to keep this act up? It's just 800,000 yuan. I'll give it back to her, okay? Great, so you admit it. You stole Catherine's life-saving money. Damon, losing his patience, shouted, shut up. If you want the money, let Catherine come out and ask for it herself. Stop this ridiculous show. You're making a fool of yourself. The only fool here is you. Catherine was still alive and you were already planning a wedding with this mistress. You forced her to divorce on wedding anniversary day, claiming you and Caroline were just friends. Just friends who get married. You both betrayed Catherine. You're the ones who killed her. Caroline started crying too. It's all my fault. I was too greedy. I just wanted to fulfill my last wish before I died, so I wouldn't leave with regrets. Damon and I truly love each other. We never wanted to destroy anyone's marriage. The truth is, Damon never really let go of me. He only married Catherine out of responsibility. I'm almost dying, so I just wanted to bravely pursue love one last time. The real mistress is the one who's unloved, and that's not me, she cried hysterically, and Damon's heart broke for her. The argument between Damon and Bonnie intensified. Eventually, security had to intervene, and they were all taken to the police station. When they arrived at the police station, Damon was still trying to shift the blame, claiming it was my idea to have Bonnie cause trouble. He even demanded that the police arrest Bonnie and charge her with disturbing public order. After learning the full story, one of the officers looked at Damon seriously. Are you sure Catherine gave the order? Damon nodded. It must have been Catherine. She's had some misunderstandings about us, and has been upset, but this is going too far. She's not only disturbing others, but also ruining our reputation. The police officer looked at him in disbelief, even rolling his eyes slightly. One of the female officers almost rolled her eyes all the way back. Sir, your ex-wife Catherine passed away a month ago. Her body has already been cremated and buried. It took Damon a while to process this. No, you're all lying. There's no way Catherine is dead. Her registration has been cancelled. She's truly gone. At this point, Bonnie spoke up. I was the one who claimed her body. The hospital contacted people from her phone, but no one was willing to take care of her remains. Eventually they reached me and I arranged her funeral. That's when I learned just how much she had suffered. She could have survived, but this man took away her will to live. At this, Bonnie's already swollen eyes filled with tears again. Only then did Damon realize I was truly gone. That last phone call wasn't a prank. It was my final call before I died. He collapsed onto the ground, lost in despair, then suddenly seemed to remember something, and ran out frantically. He rushed back to what used to be our home, and found a pile of medications. They were the ones I had to take every day. When Damon saw them, he broke down in tears. He had seen me take them before, but had said, stop taking those diet pills. Yes, he never cared. Damon then went to see my former doctor. The doctor sighed. Surgery could have given her a good chance of recovery, but she later gave up. I heard it was because of money issues. After that, her condition worsened, likely due to living in a long-term oppressive environment. Damon slapped himself hard over and over again, until his face was swollen. He wandered back home in a daze, collapsed onto the bed we once shared, and cried uncontrollably. Bonnie came to collect my belongings, and completely ignored Damon. Damon couldn't hold back any longer, and asked her, where is Catherine buried? I want to see her. You two are no longer married. Besides, I won't let you defile her grave. She was unlucky enough to meet you, while she was alive. In death, I want her to have peace. That was the last thing Bonnie ever said to Damon. Then she left with my belongings. The next day, Damon and Caroline were hit with a wave of online backlash. The incident at the airport had already caused a scene, and since Bonnie had live-streamed it, the details of their affair quickly spread. It was even exposed that Caroline had never been sick at all, and was as strong as an ox. She had only lied to get Damon back. When Damon found out the truth, he snapped. He went to question Caroline, but Caroline said, "I did this because I love you." Damon filed for divorce and sued Caroline for falsifying reports and doing marriage fraud, but Caroline said, "I was just joking with him, and never showed him any reports, and I never went to hospital with him. He is stupid for not taking a joke." There were always loopholes in what Caroline said, but he never doubted her. Damon shut himself into the room, not coming out, drinking day and night. When his friend finds him, he has already seriously damaged his body, and doctors said he only had some hours. When he took his last breath, he saw me, but I faded away. When I opened my eyes again, Damon was complaining about Bonnie. I packed my bags and left his house, then sent him a breakup message. "In this life, I only live for myself." End.